The new year will bring the opening of the new transportation center located in the totally restored Union Station in downtown Springfield. Bringing that historic building back to life has been a long-time dream for Congressman Richard Neal, who worked to secure essential federal funds for the project. The Congressman joined Connecting Point correspondent Carolee McGrath for a look at what's happening.
We're joined by Congressman Richie Neal to talk about Union Station, which is soon to be open. Thank you so much for joining us.
Nice to be with you, Carolee.
So you must be excited.
I'm thrilled. I mean, it's been a career motivation, and it certainly has been a joyous one, I must say, to have witnessed and participated in this long-standing challenge. And now to see it coming to fruition, where probably by the end of January, it's going to reopen to the public.
So tell us a little bit about the history of Union Station for people who might not be aware of it.
Well, I think as the federal highway system expanded and as plane transportation became more accessible, the great railroads of America were kind of put to the sideline, and train transportation was less reliable to a lot of people, and it took a little bit longer, and the investment that was necessary was really going to airports and highways. So Union Station, which has this storied history during the 90 years that it's been around, was really the center of economic activity here in western Massachusetts for decades. But beginning in the 1950s, when we saw the demise of rail transportation just about everywhere across the country, the question became what was going to be the challenge of reuse of Union Station. If you recall, that's where mail was sorted, that's where the baggage handlers worked, and also not to miss the point that the Charles Hotel was one of the great landmarks here in western Massachusetts, and the number of famous people that stayed there and traveled by rail up and down the East Coast and across the country was pretty remarkable. But by the time we got to the late 60s and early 70s, rail transportation had really succumbed to competition, and in 1973 it closed. So in 1977 I was a candidate for the Springfield City Council and really pledged to do something about it. And upon becoming mayor, I moved forward with a pretty good plan for Union Station, and we actually had a land taking to secure control of the building. And then there were a series of stops. And I regularly petitioned Congress for really a handsome assortment of earmarks, as they were called and are called. And we are going to look at a $95 million project that, again, I hope will open just about January 28th.
So what could people expect? What's the Union Station of 2017 going to be like?
Well, it's been a very tasteful renovation. And when you have a chance to look inside of it, you're going to be stunned by just how ornate it is, because we've brought back many of the artifacts that made it such a glamorous setting. The concourse is really beautiful. The original floor is intact. The clock is in the midst of being restored. The ticketing and the passenger operations are well underway. And you can see that the bus depot is making its way. And it's going to be a transportation hub for western Massachusetts. So I hope that the viewer will be excited not just by the nostalgia that it's created, but also by the opportunity it has for economic development going into the future.
And can you talk a little bit about that? So you said $95 million project. Some people may say, wow, that's quite a bit. What will this mean for the area?
Well, one of the nice parts about the stimulus package, as much as it's been derided by critics, I'm not one of them, as you know. Beginning in 2018, you're going to have 10 more trains a day, north and south. So from New Haven to Hartford and on to Springfield, and then on to Bellows Falls, Vermont. You are in the midst of seeing the track all redone and improved on the Connecticut side of the border. Governor Baker's coming out to talk with me about the Massachusetts investment, but Governor Malloy in Connecticut has used that stimulus money as an investment. That's the reason right now that you have to take a car or a bus to New Haven, because the track is being restored in Connecticut. So we're looking forward to that New York to Springfield connection, and the governor is very enthusiastic about north-south. And actually, I'm working pretty hard to make him enthusiastic about east-west.
And you're still working on that.
He's a quick study.
So what about retail? There's going to be retail there as well.
There will be retailing there, and it'll be mixed use. I think that there are a couple of law firms, I understand, that have signed up. We're going to have eateries that have signed up. I think it won't be hard to put a little bar and restaurant there. And I believe that negotiations are being finalized for some of the office space on the second and third floor. So it's really pretty nice subject.
So are you pretty, you must be pretty optimistic then about the future of Springfield and economic development as we go forward with this, and of course the casino as well.
Well, there are many good things happening. I think one of the best stories, obviously, is the manufacturing story that's taking place, and you can see it coming through 291. Manufacturing is an interesting story, Carolee, because people, I understand, complain about what they argue to be the demise of manufacturing in America. Actually, manufacturing is doing quite well in America. The problem we have is that you need fewer people to accomplish the same ends. So part of it is robotics, and part of it is high-skill manufacturing, precision manufacturing. But even as we speak, there are 16,000 precision manufacturing jobs in New England that go unanswered.
Because we need those workers
We
to
need
fill
those-
them,
we
those
need
highly
those
skilled
workers,
workers. Right.
but skilled workers.
Skilled workers,
That's
yep.
the challenge that we have. So I am optimistic, and I think that a lot of nice things are happening across Western Massachusetts right now.
Okay, and we're going to get to see it very soon. We're going to take a tour, and we're really excited about it.
I'm excited.
Thank you, Congressman Neal, for coming in and telling
Thanks,
us about
Carolee.
it.